I'm Kathy with Atlanta Area Property and Management, and I'm going to talk briefly about rent increases. Well, every owner wants as much rent as possible from their investment home, but before you decide to raise your tenant's rent, you need to consider a couple of things. What is the market rate for properties in your area that are in the same condition? What kind of tenant do you have? And how long since your last rent increase? Well, when you do an analysis on competitive properties, you need to be totally honest with yourself and objectively evaluate your property. You just don't want to compare a home that's been completely updated with granite, designer paint colors, hardwood floors against your home, which might have white laminate counters, a parquet foyer, and maybe 3-year-old carpet. So make sure that you're comparing like-for-like homes to get into the correct rent range. Well, once you've done your analysis, let's say the rents are 20% higher. Your tenant's paying $1,000 a month, but the going rates are $1,200. Do you raise the rent? Well, what kind of a tenant do you have? A reliable payer, quiet, never asks for anything unreasonable, and keeps your home in good condition? Or do you have one of those high-maintenance tenants, someone who is frequently late, always asks for repairs, and is constantly complaining? Well, these are two extremes, but you know how difficult it is to find great tenants. So you have to ask yourself, do I want to keep this tenant? Well, here's the risk. If you raise the rent, some tenants will move out in a heartbeat, and it will certainly depend on how much you raise it. A reasonable tenant will understand and be able to afford a $25 to $100 rent increase. A high-maintenance tenant is someone we don't even like to deal with because they cost us way more money than any rent increase covers. And you do have to remember that you'll have a several $1,000 rent-ready bill when your tenant moves out, and that could take years to recoup. The bottom line is that you have to determine how far off the going rate you are. Do you want to keep your tenant? And how long before you break even if the tenant moves out? Can you handle that financial burden? Well, one thing you can do, which we do here at Atlanta Area Property, is to include in your leases that after 2 years, the rent will automatically increase by 5% each year thereafter. They are small increases, but keeps our rents at or close to market rates.